Hi, my name is Merikay Waldvogel, and I'm telling my quilt story at McKinney Center in Jonesborough, Tennessee. Today is Saturday, May 13, 2023. Last week I told the story about this kit quilt in my family, and someone asked me to bring it to do it, a full-blown quilt tell it. And so I said, okay, so here's the story. My mother, Helen Arlene Tassa Waldvogel, died at a very young age. She was 46 years old in 1973. I am the oldest of 4 children, 3 girls and a boy. And so I was out of graduate school, and the other 2 girls were in college. And then there's this boy, teenage boy, who was 16. He was still at home. So anyway, I didn't really go through the end of my mother's life, although I came to visit, and I was there when she passed away. Her best friend, named Mary Bingenheimer, knew that she was dying, and that she gave her this quilt kit to make during the last year of her life. My mother was not a quilt maker. She was a wonderful seamstress, did a lot of sewing. And so, I don't know, I can imagine, well, I didn't ever see her doing it, but I can imagine at the end it was just these little cross stitches, and following a design was something that really gave her a lot of comfort. So anyway, apparently it was finished when she passed away. And Mary said that she would take it back to Illinois, Southern Illinois, my mother died in St. Louis, Missouri. So the quilt went back, and it was quilted by a quilting group in Southern Illinois, and it's really wonderfully quilted. But again, this is a kit, and they followed the lines. Okay, jump forward about 6 months. And Mary, my mother's passed away, Mary says to the 4 children, okay, I'm gonna make a quilt for every one of you. And because there's only one left, you're going to have to fight over it, or you decide what you want made. Well, I had just started collecting quilts in Chicago, and in my mind, I was not interested in this at all. It wasn't old, it was a kit. I didn't even have this sense of, the closeness to my mother. So, and lo and behold, the other 2 girls felt the same way. So this is what we asked for. I asked for a Harvest Star quilt made out of scrap fabrics scraps of clothes that my mother had made for me, so that when I looked at the quilt, I would remember her and making and it had prairie points on it just like this one. My other sister wanted an Amish quilt. And it was a bedspread. It was black, it was beautiful, and purple, black and purple. And I'm not sure Sally ever got hers, but 4th one was my brother Steve. And he could, by this point he's off at school in Colorado. And I said, I will keep that for him until his life is more settled. He is now 67 years old. He lives in New Mexico in a stone house with a dirt floor. He has never lived in a place where this quilt would have been properly cared for. So consequently, I kept it with me through my entire quilt life. And today, I treasure it because of what it is, that it is a quilt kit. It fits a certain era of quilt history. It's beautifully done. And now when I think about my mother actually working on it, and I'm way past the age where she was when she passed away, but it brings me so much joy. So I'm glad I had a chance to tell this story. Thank you.